Hello everybody, this is Adam from Wheel Guns for Women, and today we're out here with the Colt 633 Department of Energy submachine gun, or rather, the H&R clone thereof. And H&R, if you don't know, is a subsidiary of PSA nowadays, Palmetto State Armory. This thing came out originally, I'm guessing, like in the 80s, from what I can tell. However, this particular one dropped back in like mid-February, and I got it the day it came out. Because I've been anticipating it since it was announced at like, I think 2 SHOT Shows ago. Maybe it was just one. But it was high on my list of things to get. Now, you might say, why are you interested in this? You know, this thing doesn't look very useful. It's kind of outdated, obsolete. And it is. But if I want to LARP and look really cool, you know, like I'm in an 80s action movie, this is the way to go. And to clarify, it's the Department of Energy clone. And that also makes it cool because I, last year, went to the Hanford site in eastern Washington. And and that's like from the movie Oppenheimer, and you see them trying to make plutonium and it has to be shipped down. That came from the Hanford site, I'm pretty sure. But there was a couple of sites up there, and that's where they were trying to take uranium and reduce it to plutonium, or I don't know the word, I'm not a scientist. Anyways, there was like this 4-hour tour that the Department of Energy and National Park Service put on, and it's free, and you just, you know, first come first serve, and they just bus you out to this old nuclear plant. It's been decommissioned now, but they were talking about how they have trains and they had to transport the stuff, and also they had, I'm sure, and they had guards on those, and they also probably had guards obviously at the actual plants. But for transport, this makes sense. Has a flip down front sight, so if you have like a kill hole on a train car, you can stick it through and just go to work. Of course, they had full auto on theirs. It's an option. You have magazines from all the way from like 5 rounds to like 33 or 40 rounds. They're Colt mag. You know, it's the Colt magazine, not a Glock mag. And so these Colt SMG mags, you know, you want to use knockoffs. Real ones are like $70. But this is a metal form one. That's the brand that came with it. You also have ACS mags you can get for like $20, and you can get some of those. And I ran the ACS mag and the Dura mag, also like $18. I ran those and the metal form, all 3 brands at the match we had. I ran this in the PCC division. Please note, this is not technically legal if you're going to put in like your USPSA number and actually try to compete with it. One, you wouldn't want to because, again, it's pretty obsolete. But you wouldn't be able to if you're actually trying to use it when it counts, because you would need to SBR it. This is technically a brace. So this is a pistol, not a rifle, not an SBR. Cheek weld. I've run it both collapsed like this and then also extended. Obviously for longer shots it's nice to have it extended, but for the most part at close range it's actually easy just to move around. The only problem is this rear sight is very small and this front sight is very large, and so it's very hard to be accurate with it. Point shooting's fine, but actually aiming is kind of difficult, and I've noticed that it's, you know, the front sight's so large and the rear sight's so small, the little circle, that I sometimes see the front sight posts, either the left or right, or the front sight post protectors, and I mistake it for the front sight post, so I'm shooting way left or way right. That's a quirk, but yeah, the front sight flips down, has this oversized shell, you know, casing, deflector, and also works to deflect gases pretty well, which is smart because this is threaded for a suppressor. Overall, this is a super fun gun. I had 0 malfunctions. Put 50 rounds of New Republic, 115 grain, 50 rounds of Fiocchi, 100 rounds of Aguila, 14 rounds of, and that was 124 grain, and 15 rounds of Federal, 115 grain, through all 3 mags over the course of the match, the USPSA match this past Saturday, and it all ran flawlessly. I have 342 rounds through this thing, 214 of them without cleaning or anything because it was all in the same morning, and all of these rounds have functioned flawlessly. There have been 0 issues of any sort, 0 malfunctions. So, very happy. It is pricey, a lot more than most people would spend on what I would call a toy or like a fun gun. Obviously, it's not a toy in the sense that it's a gun, treated as such, because it is one. But, you know, it's for fun. It's not good for competition. It's not good for home defense. Like, you could use it for any of those things, but it's just obsolete and not very ideal for anything. Except for looking cool, obviously. Get sling, you're running around like you're John Travolta or Van Damme or something. You could take back the Nakatomi Plaza. Anyways, that's my short review at the 342 round mark. So basically a third of the way to 1,000 rounds. My goal is to get to 1,000 rounds by Christmas with this gun, which could be kind of a waste since again it's kind of a fun gun, but I want to be able to give it a nice 1,000 round review so that other people out there know if it's worth buying, if it holds up. So far everything's sturdy, nothing's come loose or anything, so I definitely recommend, and I'll be posting some match footage, so look out for that too.